Auzubillahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dear viewers, I'm welcoming you to our program Eternal Bliss of Nasrullah Al-Fati Society. You are welcome. Our program is a program where we enlighten Muslim ummahs. We talk about things that will benefit our society and things that we need to know about Nasfat. My name is Tajuddin Olalekan Olashupo. And today I have with me a special guest. I'll be talking about social media. And when we come back, I'm going to officially introduce our guest. Please stay tuned and don't go away. Welcome from that short break. Before we went on that break, I was saying our topic today is going to be around social media. And we have with me in the studio our dear sister Shakira Yewande BLC. She'll be talking about social media. She's a member of the Youth Wing. She's a lecturer at Fountain University, Osogbo. Sister Shakira, assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, brother.
It's good to have you in the studio.
For having me in the studio.
It's good to see you.
It's nice being here, actually.
Ramadan Kareem.
Allah.
Not to waste our time, let's go straight into this topic. Can you tell us about social media?
Okay, so basically social media is an agent used to reach out to people. And we have different social media platforms. We have Instagram, we have LinkedIn, we have TikTok, we have Facebook, Twitter. Okay, Twitter is now called X. So we have all the social media tools that are used for various things. And the beauty of it is, you agree with me that we are trying to move with the tides.
Yes.
And I can recall so many years back, there was nothing like social media. Whatever media we were relating with was with the radio, TV, and the likes. But technology is advancing, and every day we're having new things. One thing about social media is it's a tool that helps in passing across information. You know, people use it for advertisements, people use it to reach out, people use it for traction. Even it is the major tool for dawah. You agree with me that the generation of today don't really have time to sit down in front of TV to say, oh, they want to watch a program.
Yes.
But they're always on their phone, their tabs, their systems 24/7. And you agree with me that a person who does not even have time to watch TV, what do you think will be the best way of catching the person's attention? That's where social media comes in.
Wow, thank you very much for that wonderful idea. Looking at the social media, and looking at it from the aspect of what you have just told us now, that it's a way of getting information across to people. And you also said that a lot of people don't want to leave their comfort zone to go to places where they can get information. What are the goods and the bad of social media? Looking at it from the aspect that it also reduces the human contact. So can you tell us the good and the bad of the social media with the present generation?
With the current generation of today, the advantages of social media is it has created a platform for people to do business without having to open up a shop.
Okay.
You can be an online sales agent. It's like drop shipping. You have some people who have their own shops who send pictures of goods and prices to you. You don't have to stock your shop.
Yes.
Just post it on your status, post it on Instagram. You have people asking you about this product.
Yes.
That is an advantage.
Okay.
You know, one headache a lot of business owners have is this. When they rent shops, they now start looking for money to buy goods in the shop.
And the house rent is...
So at the point when, even after they've been able to buy goods, when they now go to the shop on a daily basis, there's that headache, the tension that, oh, am I going to sell enough to pay the rent? But with what social media has brought to us when it comes to business-wise, I will be in my room. I've already paid for my rent, whether I like it or not. Maybe it's even my father's house. And I'll be in the comfort of my own house, and I'll sell what I want to sell, make my money, make my profit without having to stock that product on my shelf.
Yes.
That is one advantage. Another advantage is it has brought us closer to people we have lost touch with. Imagine the years when some of us went to primary schools. There was no phone.
Yes,
In fact, the phones that were available then were landlines
landlines.
that are no longer in
And
existence
it
right
is
now.
these rich people that can
That had
afford
it. It wasn't a luxury like we have now. Even my 6-year-old son has a phone to call his own and say, "Mommy, this is my phone." But back then, so we've lost touch with a lot of friends that we used to relate with back then. But with the advent of social media, we've been able to connect with some people. We've reached out to them. We've, met people again. In fact, social media brings you across new people that you don't even know.
Yes.
That you become friends and you have beneficial relationship.
Yes.
It also helps us bridge communication gap. Social media makes you communicate. In fact, there are some people, all they do is they are influencers. And they are making serious money. Go and look at the likes of Kiki's, Bayu, and all they are selling is content. They will just come up with a skit, they post it online and all. But one of the disadvantages I see with social media is it is taking away that human contact, the human connection. Back then in those days when we sit down in our houses, our daddy will tell you, have you heard the latest news? This is what is happening now. But now, the home of today, daddy is pressing phone. Mommy is pressing phone. The child is pressing the tab. Nobody is saying anything. Nobody is. In fact, when a child wants to communicate with the parent, it becomes so difficult to catch their attention. So even when the children are having issues, there is no platform to share it, except the child now decides, okay, let me send a WhatsApp message to my parents, which shouldn't be. So it is taking away that human contact that we really need to bring back. So for every advantage, there's a disadvantage, but we just have to find a way to ensure that the advantage outweighs the disadvantage.
Okay, thank you very much, dear sister. I also want to look at it. If you're looking at social media, are we also going to classify Zoom as part of the social media that we're talking about?
It is, because the advent of COVID-19 actually opened our eyes to a lot of things. A lot of people would believe back then that if you don't get to Asalatu location, Asalatu will not happen. And a lot of people thought that when COVID happened, that everything will go to a halt. We brought in Zoom, Facebook live streaming, Instagram live. We brought the things people would actually need to walk into a space to get. We brought it in to be done physical, online without having to do physical. In fact, at the youth wing level, a lot of our programs that used to be physical has gone online. Because even after COVID, we felt there was no need to endanger our people to travel all the way from Sokoto to Lagos for a meeting, when we can actually come online and have the meeting. Our members in the diaspora will join with ease, and everybody will be on the same page. So there will be no need of somebody giving a feedback to another person.
Yeah.
So that way, Zoom is also part of the social media tools, Google Meet and all. But COVID-19 made us see the essentials of Zoom. It's a case of when God wants to bless you, you might design an app and not know that this app would actually come to be beneficial. And that's exactly what happened with Zoom and Google Meet.
Okay. Now looking at the Zoom, I observed recently that most of the offices, big organizations, they usually don't even have physical meetings in their office again. So I'm looking at it that if it continues like this, it's still not going to bring about unemployment in the world.
Reality is this: the economic meltdown of the nation is one important tool that is affecting a lot of companies. So now, some companies that used to work 5 times a day have cut down their working days to maybe 2 times. On some days you do online, on some days you do physical. It's just a way to bridge some gap. And those gap part of the gap is this: instead of laying you off, they will give you an avenue to sit down at home and work. Maybe the pay might not be the same, but while sitting at home to work, you can also engage in other things, and that time could be beneficial to you personally. It will not underscore you from delivering to your workplace, giving them what you need to give to them, but then it will also help you in your self-development. You know, a lot of times I have some set of people who would have done better if they had a little time to do some professional certifications. But when they go to work 8 to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday, how will they cope?
Family at times is another problem.
You know, there are a lot of pressure. There's the pressure from home, there's the pressure from work, there's the pressure from worship place, a lot of pressure, and it's not always easy being able to balance it. It's just the divine grace of Almighty.
Alhamdulillah. Viewers at home, if you are just joining us, the program is Eternal Bliss of Nasrullah Al-Fati Society. I have with me Sister Shakira Yewande BLC discussing the social media. Please stay tuned when we come back. The program continues. Our dear viewers at home, you are welcome back. The program is Eternal Bliss of Nasrullah Al-Fati Society. My name is Tajuddin Olalekan Olasupo, and I still have with me in the studio Sister Shakira Yewande BLC that's discussing the social media with us. Sister Shakira, you're welcome back from that short break.
Thank you.
And it's good to have you in the studio once again.
The pleasure is mine.
Okay, so before we go on that break, we're discussing social media, and you've told us about the benefit and the merit of the social media. We've looked at it from the aspect of how this engagement has brought about a disconnection in relationship, and how it has helped us to bring about to connect people that are far away from us. But looking at it, we also have to look at some areas too. Let us discuss the principle of social media. What are those principles of social media?
So, majorly the principle of social media is, most times people want to build traction, to be able to get viewers, to build their social media. You see some celebrities celebrate 1 million followership, one this. The reason is this: the moment some organizations realize that this person has this traction, they start to key into them, make them their ambassadors, so that they can also help promote their products.
Does that come with money?
It comes with money. It doesn't go for free. Go and check the page of Diary of a Kitchen Lover.
Okay.
She promotes for, I think, Mama Gold or something. And I'm sure it will come with packages. Look at Lateef Adedimeji, who has been an ambassador for Airtel for a period of time.
Okay.
You definitely know that all these things does not come free.
Okay.
But then, our youth of today do not utilize social media the way they should.
Okay.
Some will just buy data and just be watching only Lege Miami's cruise and the likes, when they can actually use that same data to either sell something, promote something, put themselves in the limelight. The first time I met Ashraf Akintola, when he came for a bioinformatics training, I had known him because of all his workers I've been watching on social media. So I never even knew he was a bioinformatics person, because what I know him for is all those workers that he does. And he has a good voice, he knows how to do the rendition and all. So I'm sure he's making his money with all those, and likewise still being able to do his side hustle. So one of the things we need our people to do is utilize the social media properly. Now, we now look into what Islam itself would talk about on the principles of social media.
Okay.
One of it is intention and sincerity.
Intention and sincerity. Okay.
You know, first hadith says action will be judged according to intention. Quran 2, that's Surat Baqarah, verse 265 says that the example of those who spend their wealth seeking means for approval of Allah and ensuring that themselves they are like a garden on high growth. Imagine that I go on my Facebook and I decide to do a 5-minute dawah. Imagine I have 1,000 friends on my Facebook and they all listen to that video.
Yeah.
What do you think I've done? I have been able to bridge a little gap in the dawah aspect. Look at Mufti Menk.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to be at his main lectures.
Before you get to know what he's saying.
Go on Twitter, go on Instagram. He drops a daily update. He is propagating Islam using the social media as a tool. Though we have people who are not using it for the right tools. You know, you see some clerics who will be doing some dance, things that are not Islamic. Pass the message across, give the dawah and do the bit. That is talking about intention and sincerity. We now have truthfulness and integrity. Imagine you as a Muslim, you are going online to talk about some principles and using social media to project it. People must be able to see what you've said. Oh, Brother Chukwu has told us that the youth wing built a basketball court at Fountain University.
And you should be able to see him.
Get there and see, oh, is this the edifice the youth wing built? You have to be trustworthy. Those are the traits of a Muslim. Even in our articles of faith, you believe in oneness, believe in the prophet. The pillars of Islam, Iman is the first pillar,
Yes.
meaning that you need faith as a Muslim. Now, we need to respect privacy and dignity.
Privacy and dignity.
Surah Al-Hujurat, Quran 49 verse 11 talks about it. You know, a lot of people don't know that the Quran has taken care of a lot of issues even before those things came to light. And it says, "O you who have believed, let not a people ridicule one another," meaning that you should not ridicule your fellow Muslims. Do not backbite, do not gossip, do not do gibah. In fact, the Quran states that backbiting is like you eating the flesh of your fellow Muslim.
But what we see most on social media is all about this person trolling this person trolling this other person, and the purpose of why the social media was created. At times, people get away from what they are supposed, what they do. So, how do you think we can use Islamic organizations like us to correct some of these things?
You see, the people who troll one another, they realize that Nigerians and people generally, they like gist. They want to know what is trending. They want to know what is in vogue. Even when you see some drama where even we have some of our clerics who would be tackling themselves instead of giving lectures, telling our youths, our Muslims, this is what Islam says. We know that we've heard all lectures, but reminder
It's very important.
is important because we are forgetful humans. But when we get constant reminder, it brings us back to Allah, and it lets us understand our essence of living. But instead of even our clerics, people we look forward to doing that, they start trolling themselves. So when we have clerics doing that, how do you think you will now blame all these artists who make it as their point of order? In fact, I remember back before social media, when Saheed Osupa and Pasuma, they will release an album. This one would abuse this. People will now start fighting over people who will sit down in their sitting room and laugh. Yeah, my CD are sold though. I hope you know I've sold 1,000 copies. So I think our people need to start learning to not get carried away by all this drama on social media. It's just a means to an end.
Thank you once again, Sister Shakiro. And because we know we are Muslim, and this is one of the things NASFAT is doing, that we want to help our society. Part of the policy trust of the society is that we want to be an agent of change. And if we want to be an agent of change, one of the things that we need to use is social media. So we're looking at it from the last aspect, from the questions I asked, that we saw a lot of people that they throw themselves on social media. And you made mention of imams, some clerics that do this and that, just because they are looking for follow-up, want people to recognize them. So what are those things that we need to do to balance all those social media, how would I put it, social media,
shenanigans
of those things with our faith as Muslims, and how we want to get out of all those things? It's very important for us to also discuss that.
One of the things to do is to engage in positive outreach.
Okay.
Nasrul Al-Fati Society as an organization is doing that. The program of Eternal Bliss is a means to bridge that gap. We have other activities. In fact, starting from today, the Ramadan committee will be having different Dawah online series, which is targeted at engaging and educating our people about so many things. So that way you see that NASFAT is trying And one thing I'm sure of is the NASFAT I know will not come online and start doing banters or something. They'll bring people who are learned in a particular area to educate people about a particular discourse. And while they are talking about this discourse, people would learn. So one of the things we need our people to do is look for positive means to follow on social media. You go on Instagram, you decide to follow people. Follow people like Mufti Menk, follow Sulaiman Omar. These are people, even on X, people should look for,
should scrutinize
what they follow, because invariably what you follow dictates the way you would move. Because when you I think the traction of Facebook, Instagram and others are built in such that whatever it is you search are the things that will be popping up on your Instagram page. Okay. So if you look for Dawa related content,
you will see a lot of content,
sponsored content to come for you. When you come to Instagram, you just see, you see things like, you see some videos of some clerics talking about even Quran recitations and the likes. But when they know that all you keep searching for is
somebody trolling the other person, you keep getting.
That's what you keep getting. So we need to now change how we engage our social media pages. Another thing is we need to exercise restraint and moderation. We need to give moderation to everything we do.
Moderation.
We shouldn't go over the board for so many things. As individuals, we need to reduce the time we press our phones. Because if we are saying that we want to correct our own children, that we don't want them to just be so addicted to the phones, then as a parent you need to also reduce your screen time. You need to know that, okay, I'm not going to be pressing my phone in the next period. And alhamdulillah, for the holy month of Ramadan, the holy month of Ramadan helps us to do a lot. We just hope and wish that we can continue with some of these things after Ramadan. Because they understand that for every good deed you do in the holy month of Ramadan, you get multiple rewards. And everybody likes multiple rewards. I remember somebody we approached that, we need you to help us feed some people. We need you to donate. You know what he told us? He said, no, it's just a week to Ramadan. Come during Ramadan. I want to give you this during Ramadan so that my reward can be multiple and all. So then we now need to build community of support.
Community of support.
We need to build community of support. If as NASFAT members, we have online programs, and we ourselves don't even come online to attend those programs, then we are not helping. We also need to share with our contacts, our close friends. Let's share these links with them. Okay, so person, I remember a series the Youth Wing did about the Faith Clinic.
Yes.
We had over 200 participants who were not even members. We had members and non-members. But you see, that episode was one that addressed a key issue: infertility. And as much as some people will say, infertility has been overflowed, we have a lot of people facing challenges around infertility. Most times some people would be like, most times, in fact, the African mentality is when you're having infertility issues, the woman is the problem. But there are times that we have it that the man is the problem. And that particular episode brought a lot of things to limelight, where we had specialists. Dr. Lao Kunle was one of those who discussed during that session. And in fact, we had people who after that session
did a follow-up,
reached out to him, did a follow-up, and alhamdulillah, we have some of them that has yielded good results. So we need to learn to build communities and help strengthen our drive towards getting positive impact towards the use of social media.
Alhamdulillah. Media viewers at home, I hope you have enjoyed Sister Bia Shakira. Like I said, she's a lecturer at Fountain University. The program is Eternal Bliss of National Alifat Society. Sister Bia is like, we don't want you to continue. We want you to continue doing the talk, but because of our time, we have to end the program. So it's nice to have you in the studio. And
thank you for having me.
When next we'll call you again, I'm going to answer our call.
Inshallah.
Alhamdulillah. Jazakumullah khairan for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
At home, that's our program for today. We wish you the best of the best. Greetings. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Ya hayyu ya qayyum ala la ilaha illa Allah. Ya hayyu ya qayyum.